Hello and welcome to today's Python tutorial. Today we are going to make this very simple and nice spell checker using PySimpleGUI. So this is a GUI or graphical user interface. This is an app we've just built using PySimpleGUI and TextBlob. I will show it to you. Now first let's see what it does. Let's say I want to check the spelling of something like HELO. So it could be, I don't know, help, held, whatever. So let's see if I press OK, I get these results based on percentages, like it's almost 50% chance that I meant to write held, or help, or hero, hell, hallow, helm, hello, and fellow. So if I change it to something else like this, which is easier, you would see two choices. It's either great, 98%, or agreed, less than 1%. So this is what we're going to make a spell checker that gives us some options. Okay, now how are we going to do this? Let me minimize this. We are going to use PySimpleGUI. I have two tutorials on PySimpleGUI. It's very simple. It's an amazing package to write your apps, desktop apps. Now, you can go to pysimplegui.readthedocs.io and you can read these instructions and suggestions. So we're going to go over this very fast. But besides this, we're going to use also TextBlob. What is TextBlob? It's a Python library for processing textual data. Now we can use it very easily. It's amazing. You can do sentiment analysis, a lot of stuff with it. And I'm a linguist, so I love these packages. But we are going to use this feature of spelling correction using Word, this one here. Okay, now let's go back to our Python or IDE. I'm going to use PyCharm as my IDE of choice. I love it. Now here, let's pip install PySimpleGUI first to use it. Down in the terminal, you can write in pip install PySimpleGUI and press enter. It should take a couple of seconds for you and then you will install it. Now that we've installed it, let's just import it. So we can say import. Now PySimpleGUI with uppercase Py, uppercase S, uppercase GUI. And let's just import it as SG, just as a documentation says. SG is an alias, like a nickname, because this is long, so we're going to use SG from now on. Another package that we need is TextBlob. So let's also pip install TextBlob, press enter. Oops, not this. Again, pip install TextBlob, like that. And it should take a couple of seconds for you as well. I've already installed this. Now that we've installed it, let's import it. So we can say from TextBlob import TextBlob with uppercase T and B, and also Word. We're going to use Word for the spell checking as well. Okay. Now the easy part about where is it? PySimpleGUI is, so we've installed this. Now we've also imported this as SG. Now we can add a theme. So let's just copy this boilerplate, all of it, and I'm going to show you why we have done this, and paste it here. Okay. So SG.theme, you can get a list of the themes on if you just Google it, like list of themes for PySimpleGUI, then they will show you this. Now once we've done that, let's put a layout. So this was the app, right? This is the layout. So let's check the layout. We had one label or text here. We had another row which was a text and also an input field. We had another row with 2 buttons and another row with a multi-line text area. Now, if we take a look at this part here, to make a text label like spell checker, you can write sg.text and something here. Okay, let me show it to you now. So let's say spell checker like that. Now, in PySimpleGUI, as I've explained in other videos, to make a layout we use a list, and inside the list, for every row on our app we need another list. So this means we will have one row with a text on it which contains spell checker. Now another row, we're going to have another text which says enter word, or enter a word, and next to it we are going to have actually an input text to receive the input from the user, whatever they type in. So let's give it also a key. I have explained why we need a key before. Let's just call it in for input. We can access the information the user inputs using this key later. So input text. Then we need 2 buttons like OK and cancel button. So sg.button. We call it OK. This is the text inside it, and sg.button cancel, which is basically the cancel button. We also need another row to display the spellings. So let's call it sg.multiline. Multiline because I want it to be a bit bigger, just in case there are many suggestions. And I'm going to disable it, multiline. I'm going to disable it so that no one would be able to write in it. It's just for displaying. So disable true. Let's put some size. The size is going to be, I don't know, 5510. So that's the width and the height. And yeah, for now I'm going to get rid of this. I will show you why in a moment. And this is it basically. So now we have the layout. We need to create the window object. So we just create it like a window, sg.window, uppercase W. We give it a title, which would be spell checker, and another argument would be the layout. The layout we have just created here, like so. So look, these are all rows separated by commas. Now that we have created the window, we need an event loop to process events and get the values of the inputs. That is why we use a while loop, while true, which is always true. And after we've done that, we need to read the window and get the events, that is clicks, for instance, and values, that is inputs. So now we can say if the event, that is a click for instance, is equal to sg.whenClosed, that is that cross, that close button, or event is equal to cancel. And what is a cancel? Is this. Whatever you put in here would be that button. And you can refer to that button with the text inside it actually, cancel. So if the user clicks on that closed icon, the cross icon, or clicks on cancel button, break out of the loop, and in the end close the window. But we are going to put another condition here. We're going to say if the event is equal to, my spelling is terrible, that's why I have thought of a spell checker. So if event is equal to OK, and remember, OK should be spelled exactly as it was inside the text, the uppercase O and K here. So this is the way I can refer to that button. So if the event is OK, then if someone clicks on OK, something else should happen. What? Now we're going to use our TextBlob now. So if someone clicks on the OK, we are going to get the value that they have entered in the input. How do we get that? Well, we can say, let's say just, I don't know, W is equal to values, the values we just got from the window. And what is the name of the value? Is in. That is why we have the key here. So the value is in. Let's check. It's in. So now we have access to the input that the user gives us. Now, what we need to do now is to get the object for that word. And I'm going to show you why we need that. So let's just call it, I don't know, B equals TextBlob and W. So we're passing in the W that we got to this TextBlob, so that we have a TextBlob object that we can do operations on. So I can now update the window and put the correction there. So I can say window output out, which was this multi-line. I'm going to give it a name. So I can say key equals out. This is a convention actually to use names of keys like that with hyphens surrounding it. So let's call it in, and let's change it here as well. And here. So we are going to get to the output, that is that multi-line, and we are going to update it. We are going to update it with what? With the correction that we get from B. Where did I get that? So let me show you. Here we have two options for spell checking. Let's just use the first one first. So B equals TextBlob and whatever the user inputs for us, then we can say b.correct is a method. So we'll have the correction. So let's just say update it with B, that is the thing that we got from the user, b dot, oops, not there, but here, b dot correct is a method, so we need parentheses now. Okay, let's check it now. Okay, let's see. And then we close the window here. Okay, it should work. Now let's see how it works. So now we have this, and this is so small, so this is terrible. Let's just change the size as well. So here under the theme, we can say sg.setOptions, and here we can change the font. So I can change the font to something like Verdana 15. And the size of the font should be bigger now. It is much bigger and better, but we have a problem with the size of the multi-line. So now that is why here we get to this argument of size. It's a tuple, so we need to have two arguments here. One is the height and the width. So the first is the width, 55, and height is 10. Now it must look much better. Perfect. Okay, now let's see if it works. If I put something like this, press OK, key error in. So yes, you see I have a misspelling here. That is why spell checker is good for me. Let's check and let's see if this works this time or not. You see, we have the correct spelling. Great. Awesome. But Maybe I meant to see greet. How about that? So this one only gives me the best option. But in order to have several options and suggestions, we are going to use this word module here, not this one. So that is why I'm not going to use this. So I'm going to use the word now. So I can going to use b equals word uppercase W a. Now I'm going to make an object of, oh sorry, W, not. So I'm going to have access to what the word provides for me, not correct, but spell check. So spell check. Now if I do this, and let's just do the same, and press OK, you see I have these two options, great and greet. And you also saw if I put something like, I don't know, hello with one L, press OK, you see held, help, hell, hero, hello, helm, hello, and fellow. So that's basically it. A spell checker in Python in around 15 minutes. I hope you liked it. Please don't forget to leave a like or subscribe or leave a comment. Thank you very much for watching and listening.